phone in a long while. Oh, I miss her reading all those long-forwarded messages to me. I haven't spoken to her about the guy that I met at the wedding. You've been saying all of those things, but today's a good day to do all the catching up. Yeah. We are 25 years old, and as part of saying thank you for your loyalty, your first call of the day is on us. Yeah, just call another MTN number and you get to talk for 25 long minutes for free from now till the 30th of June 2021. Thanks for being with us and for us for the past 25 years. So go on and make that call because it's a good day to be on MTN. Let's go. MTN, everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. So on Thursdays, we try to get education on legal matters here on Drive Time on Joy. A few things that we probably are ignorant of because sometimes it is shrouded in legal terms and in the whole legal fraternity. But our very good friend and lawyer, Samson Lardy, has been kind enough to make time and explain some of these things to us. And today, we get to look at your rights when arrested. And that's why I asked you earlier, have you been arrested before? I got a few responses. A few people sent me their messages that, yeah, they've been arrested before and all of that. I wouldn't probe to ask why you were arrested and all. But let's look at what must happen from the point of your arrest to, you giving a statement to the police or getting bail and all of those things. Yeah. Samson is live with us now on Zoom. Hello, Samson. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Alexis.
How you doing, lawyer?
I'm good. Tired.
You sounded actually. I can feel the lax in your voice. It's been a very long day, but thank you so much for still making time to join us here
You know
on.
yourself what you have done. You know your
Yeah, I had to
sins.
drag you out of your busy schedule and all of that, but please forgive us. We really needed this clarification because a few of us have been arrested before. I mean, whether for very petty crimes or road traffic, infractions and all of those things. So really, let's get to understand your rights, our rights when we are arrested. I mean, I've had people call me and ask me that, I mean, like when I'm driving and the police stop me and they say I don't have this and they decide to arrest me, what do I do? What do I say? Do I follow them to the police station? Do they lock me at counter back and all of those things? We need to get a little clarity on all of that from the law perspective. So if you can share with us, really, for starters, what are our rights when we get arrested? Hello, Samson. Can you hear me?
Right. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
So the law, the law expects that or anticipates that there will be situations where people will have to be arrested, and they may be arrested by police or they may be arrested by the citizens, what is popularly referred to as citizens' arrest. So, beginning with from our Constitution in Article 14, where we find our fundamental human rights, the law has an expectation that one could do something that may get them either being arrested or they being restricted or they being detained. So the Constitution says that if the situation occurs where you are being arrested or you are being restricted, your movement could be restricted. You're talking about being in a situation of a road traffic offense, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe the officers are trying to ascertain and to be sure whether you should be arrested or not. They would first restrict your movement and they may detain you.
Mm-hmm.
So, together with your vehicle, they may stop you and keep you there for a while in attempt to verify certain things. Now, the law says in situations where you are arrested, you are restricted, or you are detained, then you ought to be informed immediately that the arrest occurs. When we are talking about arrest here, you ought to be informed immediately in a language that you understand. Because in Ghana, we all don't speak one language, and not everyone understands English, which the policeman is trained with. So it says you'll be informed immediately in a language that you understand of the reasons for your arrest, restriction or detention, and of your right to a lawyer of your choice. So if you ask the question, what are your rights when arrested? Your first right when arrested is that the one effecting the arrest ought to inform you immediately the arrest is done. Immediately is immediately. Inform you of the reasons for your arrest. So if they say you are committing some crime, then they will tell you exactly what you're doing, which they feel or think is a crime and for which you are being arrested. And after communicating that to you in a language that you understand, they must proceed to inform you of your right to a lawyer of your choice, not a lawyer that is imposed on you by anybody, but of your own choice. So it is wrong for a police officer to approach you and say you are under arrest and does not inform you of the reason for your arrest or the reasons for your arrest. It is wrong for a police officer to approach you and announce that they have arrested you without giving you the rights to make contact with a lawyer of your choice. So if you are arrested and immediately they take your phones away and don't give you the opportunity to make a call to your lawyer, or very basic to some relation so they know that you are under that situation, so they can arrange to give you the assistance that you require, they are abusing your rights.
Okay.
And again, we have tried to educate about this. If you're arrested, and these days people are holding, almost everybody holds the phone, or they are carrying some gadgets, an electronic gadget, laptop or something. If a police officer arrests you, they are entitled to seize the gadget from you if they say that the gadget you are holding is evidence of the crime, and they are going to use it as part of the process in proving your crime. Then they are entitled to seize it. But they are not entitled to access the contents of the gadgets. They are not entitled to break into your phone or your laptop. If they have to do that, they have to go to court and ask for a warrant that gives them the permission. So a court will give them the permission, and they must explain to the court why they need to enter your phone or your gadgets.
Okay.
So these are some of the rights that you are entitled to.
Okay.
And even before anything else, all the things I have stated, the law says everyone is presumed innocent until and unless you have admitted your crime or you have been found guilty by a court of law. The law is a court of law, not a police officer and not a citizen or not a radio station pronouncing you guilty. So you must first be presumed innocent. And it does happen that genuinely some people may make a mistake and mistakenly pick you up when you are not the one to be arrested. If we get into questions and answers, perhaps I may explain a few things, including what constitutes a proper arrest and what constitutes an arrest that is not proper, and for which reason the law says you can resist. If it is being effected on you, you can resist that arrest, even if it's a police officer who is seeking to effect that arrest. And what should happen thereafter? You get to police station, you have to give a statement, how you have to go about it. These days, some of the arrests could be by way of invitation. The police will invite you to come over, and that invitation in itself could be turned into arrest. Immediately you show up at the police station.
Okay.
What you do and what you must not do to wrongly commit yourself in a way that may make it difficult for your lawyers later when they have to assist you in the process.
Okay. My first bit that I need clarity on is the earlier point you made about you use these words interchangeably: detained, movement restricted, and arrest. And one of the preambles that we set was when you probably are stopped by a police officer driving, and they probably have to conduct a search or something, and they say, okay, we have arrested you or whatever. Can you use those words interchangeably? When you're detained, have you been arrested, and all of those? I want to get a clarity on those ones.
To the effect that the law separates them, they are not the same, but all of them could occur at the same time. So you could be traveling and you are stopped, say at the airport. It could be the case that you are not being arrested, but something has happened for which a certain clarification ought to be sought. And so you could be asked to sit at a place for a while certain things are clarified. And there are many times when they will look into whatever it is, the immigration, and then they will let you go. But if it can happen also that the detention is being prolonged. But okay, whether it's a short or a prolonged detention, which includes a restriction really, the law is that immediately it happens, you have a right to be told why that is happening, and a right to a lawyer of your choice. Today we are talking about arrest, and all these things can happen in the course of arrest.
Okay.
But the law says if you are arrested, your first right is that you should be presumed that you are innocent, and that unless you have admitted to your crime before a court of law, or the court has found you guilty, you are innocent until you are proven guilty.
Yeah.
Because you are innocent until you are proven guilty, you are entitled to certain rights. And the rights include some of the things I mentioned. And you ought not to be put in a place where you make statements that are prejudicial and that could be used against you yourself. The person arresting you, if it is the police, it is their job to prove the crime. You actually have no business assisting them to prove the crime they say you have committed.
Okay. Now, earlier you clarified a bit about, the police going through your gadgets. They could seize your gadget, but they need a court warrant to assess the content of the gadget. Now, what about a lot of these traffic stops where the police will ask to search, let's say, your bag or some other bags that some other contents of your car. Maybe you have a purse in there. They would want to go through maybe a wallet. They would want to check all of those. And there are these traffic stops where the police wants to search everything, including maybe a handbag that you have and all of those things. Are those allowed? And before you actually take that, let me just remind folks, if you have any question, you can send it to us on WhatsApp on 055-1111997. So Samson, what does the law say about that?
The law principally is that if there's a suspicion that you are carrying something that is illegal, the police is entitled without a warrant to search, like you said, your vehicle, or if it is a premises where they have found you doing something, they're entitled to conduct a search for as long as they have a suspicion that you may be carrying a contraband. So there is a clear legal process allowed in law by which they can conduct a search.
Okay. Now, under what circumstance can one resist arrest?
Right. And to say that this is not to encourage anybody to misbehave or misconduct themselves or worsen their case, they are being arrested. Because if you act in the obstruction of the lawful duty, the performance of the lawful duty of the police or a law enforcement officer, you are actually committing a crime, and that will be a separate crime for which you will be prosecuted for. But the law provides very basic that if they are making an arrest, they should touch or confine your body unless you have voluntarily submitted or you have verbally submitted to the arrest that they are going to effect. If you have not verbally, voluntarily submitted yourself to being arrested and say, look, you say you are coming for me and you have given the reason why you are coming for me. Here I am. You show your both hands, cuff me up and take me to the police station. If you don't do that and they find that they must take some extra step, the law says they must touch your body, confine you. Now, if a police officer comes up to you and for no reason, no cause, they are shouting at you, trying to, kick you about the place or hit you about the place, they are not effecting a lawful arrest. And the law says you can resist it. And when you resist that arrest, you will not be punished for resisting it.
Oh, okay.
If they don't follow the laid down rules for effecting the arrest, you're entitled to resist it. And the law allows a lawful resistance of an unlawful arrest.
Interesting. Let's talk about writing a statement. So now you have been detained or maybe your movement restricted and they've taken you to the police station. You've been asked to write a statement. What goes into that?
Right. So when you are arrested, the first thing that happens, the law says whether you are arrested by a police officer or you are arrested by a citizen or any ordinary person, you are to be immediately taken to the police station. So first, they must take you to the police station immediately because there's good reason for this. So that somebody do not violate you. They may pick you up and take you somewhere and do some wrong to you. If it is citizens who are arresting you, they're entitled to arrest you when you are committing the offense in their face. Maybe you are stealing or something of the nature and they see you committing it. They can arrest you. And if they effect the arrest, the law says immediately they should hand you over to a police officer that they can find around immediately or take you to the nearest police station immediately. Not what we see around where people try to beat up the person or try to teach him, or like they say, they show you some shaggy small before they take you wherever. No, you are not entitled to hit the person or do anything to them, even if you caught them in the act. If they are resisting, then you are allowed to use minimal force, the force that prevents them from escaping. The same thing applies to the police. Immediately you are taken to the police station, you will be asked to write a statement. Or if you were invited by the police, if you're lucky enough and you are not picked up in the Rambo style that we see sometimes, if you are as fortunate as Lexus, you may not be accosted. You may simply be sent a letter or a phone call will be made to you. Immediately you get to the police station, then they will tell you that this is it, that is it. You are supposed to give a statement. So they would write and let you understand that you are being investigated for ABCD. Then ask you to write your statement, what you have to say about it. That is the most critical part, because what you write will be used against you. So be as faithful and candid as possible. If you are not too sure what to write, and like we often say, it is best to seek advice from a lawyer. Please, if you cannot afford the services of a lawyer coming around the place and assisting you through the process, seek advice from a lawyer before you put the statements down. There are situations where people are not guilty at all, but they give statements and do not know what they are writing about, and the statements are used against them, and they are wrongly put behind because of what they put down on paper.
Okay.
So if you are familiar with the issue, maybe they say you owe a debt. You can explain it properly, even though owing a debt is not a criminal offense, but it can lead to a criminal situation where you are found to have defrauded the person who has reported you. You have promised them that you could do something, or you have something that you were selling and you didn't have it at the time you were making the promise, and only succeeded or were only interested in taking the money, and thereafter, because you don't have what you promised to give, you couldn't give, and then you are arrested. It could be a genuine debt situation, but if you don't consult and you don't get assisted, it could be turned into a situation of defrauding by false pretense, and then it's actually a criminal thing, and you are going to be prosecuted.
Okay. All right. If you have,
But if you got correct us, you could explain in your writing to the effect that it's clearly not a criminal offense.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, lawyer. I'll let you wrap it up with your one main advice regards to arrest situations that you have for people. A lot of people have some questions in here, but let me just read through them to see whether I can speak to them briefly before we wrap up. Alexis, please ask him, because some policemen I heard may plant something on you to arrest you. And Matthew also in Esichari says, am I allowed to record or make videos of the officers? Sorry, it's a little slow, so let me just get it. Yeah, am I allowed to record or make a video of the officers with my phone if I've been abused by search or arrest? Yeah, I don't know whether you'd want to speak to that as well. Hello, Samson, can you hear me? Hello, Samson.
Right, so Lexis, I suppose that there are genuine questions that are coming up. You have just said, hi.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, hello, Samson.
Yeah, since you have just a minute, I think that if time allows, I can commit myself to dealing with this other aspect of search and what a lawful search will be, and then we take questions on issues of arrest in the next episode.
In the next episode, okay, then that's totally fine. I think that works. We should do that next week. If a policeman wants to search you and whether he can film and all of those things. So if you have questions, please save them for next week. Samson would make time so that we can deal with that. Lawyer, thank you so much for your time today. We're totally grateful that you were able to educate us on this. Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. Samson Lardy is our lawyer here. And as always, he tries to help us understand things from the law perspective here every Thursday. A bit of education for all of us. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week,